Okay. Hi everybody, welcome back to this week's Time to Thrive. A couple weeks ago we went through our wheel, your personal wheel. I brought it to show you guys. And this week, hopefully you've been doing this every week. It's a great way for you to gauge where you're at. This week we're going to do a different kind of wheel. But before we do this, I'm going to kind of explain it. So if you think about it, we talk about, once again, the name of the show is Time to Thrive. Time to survive, time to thrive in your life. And I think so many times we look and can get a little frustrated. I think sometimes, I know that I have at times, and maybe you have as well, when you're building, because you want people to thrive in their life. And a lot of people are happy just surviving in their life, not thriving in their life. And as we know in this business or anything else, that it's kind of like that analogy of a gym, right? 100 people join a gym, 85 people pay for the gym membership, and they're like, oh, hello gym, and they drive by their gym. Then there's like 10% of the people will go every, a week, once a week, and then there's the people that show up every day, right? Those are the 5%ers. I know that if you're tuning into this show that you are definitely a 5%er. And since you are a 5%er, that's why I'm going to share this tool with you that I think will help you thrive in your life. So think about it for a second. Who are some great leaders throughout history? Who are some great leaders? Maybe Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela. Who would you say? Who would you say some of those great leaders are? Go ahead, you can yell them out from the other side of the camera. Who would you say are some great leaders?
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama, right? So maybe there's a bunch of different leaders. Who else would you say in your life are great leaders? Just think for yourself. Who are great leaders and why are they great leaders? Now, a lot of people say, well, they have vision, they were inspiring, they do all of these different things. Those things are all true, but there's one thing that makes leaders legendary, and that is they create change. Leaders create change. So if you think about the people who maybe started movements or something within your own company, or I don't know, I just look at here in Las Vegas, what kind of amazing leadership that there is here, right? But they created change. And the first change, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, and I promised you I would share this with you, the first change that you need to make is the change within yourself. Are you walking the talk? And I think that in order to thrive in your life, you can't be in the fake it till you make it 80s or 90s anymore, and I don't know, or you can't be like having the fake news on Facebook, right? You need to be real. You need to be raw so that people can see who you are and what you stand for. So that first level of leadership is leading yourself. It's taking a look at that at that leadership wheel. It's also looking at those things, as I shared a couple weeks before as well, of what inspires you, what drives you, what really keeps you going. So that's how you make sure to inspire that leadership within yourself, is you've got to know these things. And before you even move any further listening to any of these, programs, I would encourage you to really check in with that part of you and make that your absolute must before you do anything else, right? For me, I'll do a course, and I think we'll put something up as well. I'm big into manifestation boards. I'm not obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with them. And the reason why I do them is it's really about, who do I need to become? Right, in those different areas of my life. How do I need to show up with regards to my relationships? How do I need to show up with regards to my health, my mission, what I'm learning, my family, what's happening with regards to my finances. So for me, a manifestation board, which in January we'll be doing a great course with you guys that we'll be putting on there. There'll be a link on here of how you can sign up for that leadership, that manifestation course, because I think that it's vision plus Hoya, which is get off your ass. It creates manifestation, but you need vision plus you got to get off your ass, and you need to be living it. So what are those things for you with regards to leading yourself? And you've got to have something that inspires you. So that's why I believe that those manifestation boards are so important, that should be a part of your daily routine, is looking at that every day and thinking, who do I need to become? So level 1 leadership. Level 2 leadership is one-on-one. Do you understand basic principles of rapport, if you would, right? What is rapport? it's understanding people and where they're at. I would say that it's a great skill, something called bend whim. I might have shared this with you before, but I'll share it again because you can never hear this enough. B is, what do people believe? What do people believe about you? What do they believe about the industry that you're in? What do they believe about, how you show up? Is it important to know that? Absolutely. Do people need to know? Do they believe that you walk your talk? So what do people believe? E, how do they evaluate? Judge. Yes, people judge. People are going to judge no matter what. So are they judging based on your results? Are they judging based on your leadership? Are they judging based on what you're doing in your life? And once again, so are they judging based on research with your company? Are they judging based on whatever that it is? So E is, how do they evaluate? N, what do they need? Do people need to know that they're going to have leadership there? Do they need to know that they're going to get paid on time? Do they need to know that you're going to answer the phone when you say you're going to answer the phone? Do they need to know that the products actually work? Do they need to know that it's worth the money? What do they need? D, what do they desire? Desires. People will always do more for their desires than they'll ever do for their needs. Like, do I really need that Chanel bag for my birthday? Yes, no. I need that Chanel bag and want that Chanel bag, right? But do I really need it? No, but I desire it. So I'll work hard to have it. Or do I need to buy my son a booster board? No, but I desire it because I want him to be totally excited about it, right? Do I need to, whatever, you guys got it. So what do they desire? W, this is the big one. This is the one you want to be really great at with one-on-ones and with anything, with any person that you're talking to. What are a person's wounds? What are their pain, right? I know for me personally, when I got introduced to this profession, I'd always been an independent contractor, and so I had to cover my health insurance. It was like $1,500 a month. It didn't cover it didn't even cover eye or dental, and it was a $5,000 deductible for each member in our family. So when I found out that the company that I work with offered, health insurance, a PPO plan, I'm like, well, man, I can go to work for that. That'd be worth it just to get that right there. So that was a huge wound for me, and by becoming part of this company that I'm with, that was an awesome opportunity to kind of heal that wound. I, what are a person's interests? What do they love to do? Find out, get curious. What do people really love to do? I know that, for me, I love doing this. I love sharing. I love volunteering. I love making a difference. I love being with my family. I love making smoothies. I love Thanksgiving, right? So what do people, what are their interests? Who are their mentors, right? Find out who the people are that they really look up to. Maybe if someone loves a certain author, and that's a mentor for them, maybe you just send them a book from that, that mentor there. And P, what are they proud of? People love to talk about themselves. Let them. That's the great thing about it. Let them talk about themselves. You'll learn so much about them and what inspires them and what their goals and dreams are. So when you're looking at level 2 leadership, what that means is you're taking an interest in people, right? I think people get so nervous all the time when they talk about 3-way calls and talk about oh my gosh, I can't go talk to that person. That's because your focus is somewhere it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be focused on how am I going to get somebody to sign up. It should be like, wow, I haven't connected with that person. This is what I really love about them. I'm really listening to them, find out what they believe, find out what they need, find out what to make them happy, find out why they have this pain, and I'm going to be the solution to be able to heal that pain for them. So that's level 2. Level 3 is groups, right? So I'd say that if you're watching right now, I would think that you're in the direct sales industry, and that means obviously you're working with people. So you want to help them with that level 1. You want to really hunker down with them to make sure that they've got that strong foundation with level 1. Then you want to help them with level 2, right? Those one-on-ones. And then when they've got the confidence in those 2 areas, then they can move up to level 3, which is working with groups. And they're basically feeling like that they want to be what? They want to be congruent in front of a group. They want to be like, yeah, these are the results I've gotten. They're rocking their talk. They know that they can ask great questions and they can share that with the group. They're going to have the confidence that they need because they'll know that they're living level 1 and level 2. And then 4th is that it could be organizations. Level 4 leadership is organizations. It might be countries. It might be whatever that it is. So level 4 is just making a bigger impact, maybe, whatever that is for you. But when you've got a solid foundation with level 1 and level 2, then it's easy for people to move in that momentum of level 3 and level 4. And when I was looking at this, I went and I really looked at my, I would say, leadership wheel. And a couple weeks ago, I shared with you your personal leadership wheel. And I think that in our industry, in our profession, that it's really important to help people understand that these elements are foundational to building a really strong business. And that is the first are event skills. Meaning, how many of you have ever had to plan an event? Every single one of you. A birthday party, is that an event? A business meeting, is that an event? Absolutely. So you need to know the foundational things to build an event. If someone were to say to you, I need you to plan an event today, could you go and do it? Could you know that what you need for that event? If you're, is there music? Are there samples? Creating invitations, follow up, whatever it is. What could you, and you want to give yourself a number on a 0 to 10, same thing like we did a couple weeks ago with regards to your personal areas. If you were to go with regards to this related to events, where would you give yourself on a level 0 to 10? And I'm going to give myself a 10 because I love events. I love events. Anytime there's an opportunity to do an event, I'll do an event. Anytime there's an opportunity to build to an event, I'll build to an event. And I know that someone were to say, Lauren, I need you to plan an event for 100 people at your house. Tomorrow I could do it. I know the resources. I know what are the foundational things that are required to create an event, right? Just a couple weeks ago, I planned a couple of events like that. I didn't stress about it because I knew it didn't have to be perfect. It just needed to make sure to focus on what the outcome was. So event skills. Next one, presentation skills. How many of us need to get great at presentation skills? All of us. All of us. When do you need to start learning presentation skills? When you're this big, when you're this high. Do little kids need to, do a presentation at their school? All the time, right? So we need to be teaching presentation skills and confidence from the front of the room. I would say that, I've seen a lot of people do presentations, but I would say that there is a handful of what I would call 1% speakers, And how do what can you model with those 1% speakers? They know how to move people emotionally. They're great storytellers. We talk over and over and over again about stories. And so you need to get really great at having your own story, but you need to be great at collecting stories as well. You need to understand the order of an event. You need to, like I said, know how to move people emotionally. You need to know how to read the room, like what's going on over there, what's going on, do I need to change, do I need to get everybody up and move them around, do I need to put some music on? What does it take to get great at your presentation skills? I'm not going to give myself a 10 because I would say as well, there's always things that I can improve. I know that personally for me, I use lots of bridge words, or I touch my hair too much, or I'll say and so, or do you get it? Do you understand? So those are things that I need to improve. As a whole, I think it's pretty good, but I could always get better with regards to presentation skills. So you want to give yourself a number with regards to presentation skills. Next thing that you want to be really great at as a leader is that you need to understand building team. Can you move people emotionally? Can you get them to willingly want to do more than what they would normally do? Do you know when to lead? Do you know when to follow? Do you understand that there are times that you need to step back so you can allow others? I love what Lisa Grossman says. It's like your job is to get to that leadership position as quickly as possible, but then it's your job to pass the torch, right? So what would you give yourself with regards to team? Maybe you have certain teams within the team, right? So where would you give yourself with regards to team? Now, for me, I love, like just a couple weeks ago when I went down to go help with the project, I love to help people find their gifts, right? I love for them to find their gifts. Like I started this call with one of my teams, and then I was leading the calls, and then I saw how this person was loving leading those calls. So then I pass the torch, and now this person's in charge of these entrepreneur movement calls, right? But I knew that she needed a little bit more significance, and I had to make sure to understand that and meet her needs with regards to that as well. The next is life skills. That's basically taking this wheel right here, and if I were to give this wheel, my personal wheel, one number, so I'd say that this was a 9, a 9, a 9, a 10, a 10, and a 7. So overall, it would be like an 8. So with regards to my life skills, I would give myself an 8. Right? So I look here on my wheel, 9, 10, right? The next one that we're going to look at, so we have event skills, presentation skills, team skills, life skills. The next one that we're going to go to is what we would call intervention skills. So that's understanding people's are there going to be times where you're going to need to intervene with people? You're going to need to find out what's going on with them, why they're not moving forward. So you need to understand things such as the 6 human needs. What do they need? Certainty. They need variety. Do they need love and connection? Do they need significance? Do they need growth? Do they need contribution? So you need to understand what's going on with them. Also, you need to understand and appreciate their world. Lots of times we assume, right? One of my favorite questions to ask is, maybe there's something I don't know. If someone's not, moving as quickly as possible in the business, maybe there's something I don't know. I don't know what's going on at home. I don't know what's going on, with something else. So I always ask myself, maybe there's something I don't know. So those with regards to intervention skills, knowing the questions to ask people to help them move forward and give them, maybe you need to put some leverage on there. Maybe you need to offer some incentives for them. So what are the different things that you need to do to help with regards to their intervention skills or your intervention skills? And then the last one with regards to this is, I'm totally drawing a blank. The last one with regards to this, goodness gracious, can't even think for a second. Let's just go with those right now. We'll go with those, and then I'll get back to you the next time with regards to the last skill, or I'll just keep you hanging so that you have to tune in for next time we're going through the last skills, and you'll be giving me your updates of where you're at. So for me personally, if I would give myself a number right now, I would give myself an overall, give myself like an 8.5, right? Because I'm always allowing for myself, I'm always allowing for room to grow. So where are you at with regards to your leadership? And you want to go back just as you're doing with regards to your life skills one. You're going to be checking in every week, on where you're at with regards to your leadership role as well. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I'm really starting to have fun to do these life tune-ups with you. And remember to always stay true to who you are.